Hello everyone, back to tuning into today's second video during the ECMWF extended forecast for today's second video for the UK and the rest of Europe as well. So this is your 30-day/42-day European outlook, and I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first. The video today was our 6th UK weather forecast. I was 10-14 day with all of the regular features coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. Please like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much to ECMWF.int for supplying the charts and the data as well, by the way. Thank you so much, EC. Right, we're going to start off with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly for Europe. So this is taking us through the week we're currently in, 25th of March to 1st of April. Very unsettled this week. Deep low pressure in the Atlantic and into Western and also central parts of Europe, maybe some higher pressure over on the eastern side of Europe there. 500 millibar heights from the Arctic and North Pole view down, showing deep low pressure in the North Atlantic and into West Europe. There is a ridge over on the eastern side of Europe, but between the trough and the ridge, we will be bringing up a southerly flow through both central and eastern portions of Europe. So the temperature anomaly looks quite warm across most parts of Europe, particularly from Germany eastwards, where we're going to be about 3 to 6 degrees above average. It does look a little bit cooler in the far north and west. So we've got the far north of Scandinavia, particularly Sweden, looking colder than average. UK and Ireland is cooling down as well. Cooling average for Ireland and Scotland, nearer normal for England and Wales. West parts of France and down Spain and Portugal also coming out slightly cooler than average. So definitely a bit of a cooler look to the weather or the temperature in the far western portion of Europe, but gets progressively milder the further east you go, and particularly through these eastern regions and into the northeast, where Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania looking very mild. And so our precipitation is concerned, it's wetter than average in the extreme north and western Europe, particularly Spain and Portugal, actually, which is very useful rainfall for them, of course. So, very wet down there, lots of heavy rain, thunderstorms. Wet into France, well, and northwards to the UK and Ireland. But now it goes on for another week through here, and then up to Sweden. Also looks rather wet through there, and Denmark and Norway, drier than average. And then where we've got that ridge of high pressure in the east, we actually see that we've got slightly drier than average precipitation anomalies through there, but it is a bit wet around the Black Sea. The Mediterranean, generally wettest for Spain, Portugal, also Corsica, Sardinia, drier through the Balearic Islands, pretty wet through Italy, and then Greece and Turkey looking rather drier. Week 2 will be the 1st to the 8th of April. A blocking area of high pressure appears then around Greenland and Iceland. Still unsettled across most parts of Europe. The only difference is that this blocking high probably starts to bring some colder air into northern and western portions of Europe as this low pressure sort of dominates across the bulk of Europe. The 500 millibar heights look like that. So again, we see where we've got that block around Greenland and Iceland. There's a trough of low underneath it, and then a ridge over on the eastern side of Europe. We could well pull some colder air into that trough of that low from the northern portions of Europe as well. Excuse me, everybody. So temperature anomalies are going cold through Scandinavia and Nordic regions, going below average again through there, particularly central northern parts of Sweden, Finland, and also Norway. We find that the UK and Ireland is a little bit on the cooler side, as is France, Spain, and Portugal. So again, Germany is the north and western Europe that's looking rather cooler, and then colder, and then the warmer anomalies are over on the east side of Europe. Again, anywhere from like Poland eastwards to the Black Sea into west of Russia. Again, it's a mild or very mild week, 3 to 6 degrees above normal in many areas, and up to 8 to 10 degrees above normal in the far western portion of Russia there, and also around Turkey to the south of the Black Sea. Mediterranean looks quite cold through Spain and Portugal, otherwise gets progressively warmer the further east you go. And rainfall looks like that, so drier than average around Iceland and Greenland, also back towards Scandinavia and Sweden as well. But other areas coming out wetter than average, so that doesn't change. So from the UK, Ireland, France, Spain, and Portugal in the west, all the way to Russia in the east, and all points in between, above average precipitation. The Mediterranean, central part of the Med, looking quite wet as well. It is dried down towards Greece and Turkey once more. So that would be a place going to get a bit of winter sunshine, I think, if you want a bit, well, spring sunshine now. If you want a bit of spring sunshine, get yourself off to Greece, one of the Greek islands. Doesn't look too bad there through the first week of April. Week 3 will be the 8th to 15th of April. And this will show you some higher pressure beginning to build up in towards Spain, Portugal. Low pressure is in the Atlantic and across the eastern side of Europe as well. Still a little bit of blocking up towards Greenland, but much reduced. 500 millibar heights look like that. Again, a trough of low in the Atlantic coming into west of Europe. High pressure down towards Spain and Portugal, and also up towards Greenland. How's the temperature anomaly looking? Generally lifting up across many parts of Europe. So it's still a little bit on the cooler side across the far north of Scandinavia, but otherwise most areas are seeing a recovery in the temperature anomaly. Well, Western Europe sees a recovery in the temperature anomaly. Eastern Europe perhaps brings the temperature anomaly down a little bit, if anything. But most places above average there for the second week of April, week 3. And precipitation-wise, well, it continues to look wet from either the UK right way over to Black Sea in the east. It is dried down to Spain, Portugal, intercept bowl of bed, and perhaps a little bit drier around Norway as well. But otherwise, it is another pretty unsettled week to come there. Week 4 is the 15th, 22nd of April. Quite a weak signal there. We've got some high pressure down to Spain and Portugal. Otherwise, there's not much happening. 500 millibar heights, again, with some high pressure to the north and also to the south. This white area could, in reality, end up being low pressure coming in off the Atlantic into northern and also western parts of Europe. Above average temperatures through most areas away from extreme north of Scandinavia, and precipitation-wise, it continues to look quite wet. Oh dear, through the UK, Ireland, northern France, Low Countries, Denmark, up to southern Sweden. No, the deluge goes on. It could turn out to be quite a wet April now. After all of the other wet months, we could have a very wet April on our hands here for the UK and for Ireland. It is dried down to Spain and Portugal, so things begin to dry out through there. Right, so that is your 30 days. Okay, done. But let's go through weeks 5 and 6 data before we go, because why not? So week 5 would be the 22nd, 29th of April. Oh, right, so we get low pressure centred just to the west of the UK and Ireland, some high pressure to the far north of Scandinavia. 500 millibar height show, got high pressure blocking up here. Doesn't show that trough, but there's probably going to be a trough through here in reality. The temperature anomaly, above average through most areas, but only slightly so. I think it's reverting to default there, to be honest. Precipitation is virtually no signal, but still looks like it could be a bit on the wet side through northern and western Europe. And then lastly, week 6 will be the 29th of April to the 6th of May. Absolutely nothing doing from a mean cell pressure anomaly perspective. 500 millibar heights show, but we get a ridge starting to build to the east. So that could start to bring up some warmer air, though, from the south up the western side of Europe. That could be a little bit plumey, especially if we was to get a trough or a cut-off low around here somewhere. If we did that, then we will start to bring up some very warm air from the south. Could be volatile, but we will start to get much warmer. And as far as temperature is concerned, again, it's above average in most areas, and precipitation-wise, not much of a signal. So it all gets a little bit mysterious when we get to weeks 5 and 6. But before then, it looks like we've got a very unsettled April on our hands. Low pressure is in control through most parts of Europe for the next 4 weeks, particularly in the north and the west. So the deluge goes on for another month. By the look of it, April could be a very wet month, especially for Western Europe. I have got that colder week suggested through the first week of April as well, courtesy of that blocking area of high pressure setting up around Greenland. Doesn't look like that lasts for very long. Looks like it goes away by the second week of April and temperatures pick up, but could have a bit of cold snap through the first week of the month. Remember, just a snapshot of what modelling is showing could look completely different when we look at it again on Friday, actually, for the UK and Ireland focus, or next Tuesday for the wider European outlook. If you enjoyed the forecast, please do like, share, subscribe. So much doing that. and we're back a little bit later on with pertaining to 14 days, so I shall see you a bit later for that. For this week's EC30 Day, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.